In the last video, I told you a true story, that I get all of my classes when I teach them to weigh an entire sack of raisins and then measure loads and loads and loads of estimated 15 centimetre lines hand-drawn. Why? Because when you create a histogram of your data, the histograms look the same. Now, if you thought that was bad and you're feeling lucky not to have been in my class, I then asked them to hand draw their histogram. Then I asked them to work out the mean of their data. Then I asked them to work out the standard deviation of the data. And then I asked them the following question. What percentage of your data is within one standard deviation of the mean? That's question one. And then I asked them what percentage of your data is within two standard deviations of the mean. And the third question is what percentage of your data is within three standard deviations of the mean? So why do I do this? Let's see. Okay, so here is the raisin data. Remember, this is real data, excitingly. So this is a histogram plotted from around 1,000 raisins that have been measured in my class. The mean is, and I'm going to use the correct Greek symbol now. We often use mu, or we always use mu for mean with a normal distribution. The mean was 25.7 and the standard deviation was 6.8. Okay, so that first question I asked my students, I say, what fraction of your data is within one standard deviation of the mean? So what does that mean? Well, it means if we go one standard deviation down, that's 25.7 minus 6.8. So 25.7 minus 6.8 is 18.9. And if I do 25.7 plus 6.8, I get 32.5. So really what in this case it's saying what fraction of the data, what percentage of the data is between 18.9, which on our one is about here, and 32.5, which is about here. Okay, so on a perfect normal distribution that would be beautifully symmetrical. And what they find is it is about 68%. Now looking at the title of this lecture, that's where that number comes from. Now the cool thing is, I think it's cool anyway, is that the other group of students, the ones who are working with the estimated 15 centimetre line graph, if I ask them the same question, what percentage of your data is within one standard deviation of the mean, i.e. between here and here, they also get 68% or somewhere really close to that. In fact, that is a property which is true for all normally distributed data. So this, and just to hammer home the point, if you decided to go and weigh every single Labrador in the world and then plotted a graph of their weights, that would be normally distributed as well. It's pretty much any kind of height and weight calculations you can think of will have this shape. And will have this property, 68% within one standard deviation. I also asked them what percentage is within two standard deviations. So that's maybe pushing it out from here to here and working out all of that. And what do you think it is? Yes, it's 95% of the data is within two standard deviations. So in the case of my raisin data, that would be 25.7 minus 2 of my standard deviations. So in this case, that's minus 2 times 6.8. That would be going down to 12.1. And going two standard deviations up, I'm doing 25.7 plus 2 times 6.8. Takes me up to 39.3. So what my students discover is that 95% of the data is between 12.1 and 39.3. In the case of that, and with a line drawing, I can't remember what the results are, but it's within 95% of them. 95% of the data is within two standard deviations of the mean. Finally, what they find is close to 100%, a perfect normal distribution. You'll get 99.7% of the data is within three standard deviations of the mean. So it's really rare in a normal distribution to be more than three standard deviations above or below the mean. In the case of raisins, it would be a tiny raisin is three standard deviations below the mean, and a huge raisin, a sultana, is more than three standard deviations above the mean. Okay, let's see how we can put this 98, 95, 99.7 rule into practice. All right, so the foot length of adult females is normally distributed with mean 22.5 and standard deviation 2.3. An adult female is selected at random. Find the probability their foot is shorter than 20.2. All right, so sketches are going to be massively useful here. So could we sketch out the data for our adult females and their feet? So here is their normal distribution. You're going to get very good at sketching bell curves like this. And what do we know? Well, we know that the mean is 22.5. So I tend to draw a dotted line right down the middle and put the mean there, like so. So we're looking at 20.2. So where did that come from? Well, if I go one standard deviation back from the mean, one standard deviation back from the mean is the mean, which is 22.5, minus one standard deviation. That takes me down to 20.2. So that point there was one standard deviation below the mean. Now, our job is to work out what's the probability their foot is shorter than this, i.e., what is this area? Well, what do we know? We know that 68% of the data is within one standard deviation of the mean. So what do I know? I know that this middle section here is 68%. So this entire middle bit here is 68% of the data. So what's left over for the outer bits, this bit and this bit? Well, it's obviously 1 minus 0.68, which is 0.32. So 0.32 must be this bit plus this bit. But because of the symmetry of the normal distribution, I'm going to be splitting 0.2 in half, and that gives me 0.16 for this bit and 0.16 for this. So what's the probability that their foot is shorter than 20.2? It is 0.16 or 16%. Okay, what's the probability their foot is between 20.2 and 27.1? Well, what's 27.1? Well, if we take the mean and we add 2 standard deviations, that's going to get us, I believe, 22.5 plus 2 times 2.3. Yeah, that gets us to 27.1. So this point here is 2 standard deviations above the mean. So that's up here somewhere, 27.1. So how could we work out what the probability is of being between here and here? Let's give ourselves some room so we can do a new sketch. All right, so we've got a little bit of room now. So here's my curve. And what do I know? Well, we've established, haven't we, that if we take the mean of 22.5 and we add 2 standard deviations, that's what gets us up to 27.1. So I know that that point up here of 27.1 is 2 standard deviations above the mean. Now, one of the facts, and the mean is 22.5, one of the facts up in the rule is that 95% of the data is within 2 standard deviations of the mean. So here's 2 standard deviations below the mean. I know that all of this inside between here and here is 95%, which means 5% is left over for this bit and this bit. So that means that this bit is 2.5% and this bit is 2.5%. All right, we want to work out what's the probability of being between 20.2, which is 1 standard deviation below the mean, and this bit here. Well, let's use the symmetry of the normal distribution. So this whole right-hand side is 50%, because there's 50% here and 50% here. If we've got 2.5% there, it means this region here is 47.5%. That's this half of it here. Now, we also want to add in this region here. So that 47.5% is this bit which I'm shading / dotting here. So this bit here is the 45%. Now I also want this bit here. So what's that? Well, we worked out in the first part of the question, if I just flip backwards, that we had 16% over in this wedge on the left-hand side. So if this entire wedge here is 16%, and this whole left-hand side is 50%, I can do 50% minus 16%, and that gives me that this bit here is 34%. That's kind of hard to see. So it's 34% is in this little section here, and 47.5% is in this section here. What does that mean? It means that my answer is going to be 34% plus 47.5%. 47.5 plus 34 is 81.5, so my answer is 81.5%. So you can see these are kind of awkward. Luckily, there's very little of this in the A-level because fundamentally we just do it on the calculator in a second. But you do need to understand this rule, this 98, 95, 97, and see that you can use it to kind of chop up your distribution to regions. Okay, time to introduce some new terminology. This here, x squiggle n bracket 230 40 squared, this means that I've got a random variable x which is normally distributed. Just like last year we looked at random variables with the binomially distributed, x squiggle n is x is distributed with a normal distribution, and my parameters in here are the mean and the variance. So remember that variance is standard deviation squared, so that 40 squared, 40 is your standard deviation, but if you see 40 squared, well, 40 squared is the variance and 40 is the standard deviation. So in general, what you're going to see is that when you've got a normal distribution, your parameters are your mean and your standard deviation squared, i.e. your mean and your variance. So can we figure out what's going on in this question from that? Well, in this question, we have a normal distribution with a mean of 230. So I tend to put the dotted line down here, mean of 230, and a standard deviation of 40. So what's the probability that x is greater than 350? Well, how many standard deviations above the mean is that? Well, I could do 350 minus 230. That tells me it's 120 above the mean. Well, 120 divided by 40 will tell me that it's 3 standard deviations. So 3 standard deviations above the mean. Remember that 99.7% is within 1 standard deviation. So that means that 0.3% is more than 3 standard deviations away from the mean. Half of that's on the left, half of that's on the right, which means that half of this, i.e. 0.15%, is the stuff which is more than 1 standard deviation, more than 3 standard deviations above the mean, so more than 350. So that's our answer to that first one. What about this? What's the probability that x is between 150 and 190? Well, 150, how far is that below the mean? Well, if I do 150 minus 230 at minus 80, and I can see that that's 80 is 2 times 40, that's 2 standard deviations below the mean. So 150 is here. Well, 2 standard deviations below the mean, I know that 95% is within 2 standard deviations, so 5% is further than 2 standard deviations, and half of that is on this side and half of that's on the other. So that's 2.5% here. But we want x to be between 150 and 190, and 190 is 1 standard deviation below the mean. Well, if 68% of the data is within 1 standard deviation, then 32% is further away than 1 standard deviation. Half of that's on the left, half that's on the right. So I know that this whole region here is 32% divided by 2 is 16%, but that's all of this. So this bit here, the bit between 150 and 190, must be 16% minus 2.5%, which is 13.5%. Fiddly stuff. As I said, this is not a common question in any exam. I've never seen it before, but it's on the syllabus and it's kind of fun to think about and good to see that all normal distributions have the same properties at their heart. In the next video, I'm going to show you how to use your good old scientific calculator, in this case the Casio Class Whiz, to calculate normal probabilities. And you're going to see it's much, much, much easier than this. I'll see you in the next video.